Hey everybody, I am having problems with my computer here. Just a second, but we are here and we want to thank you for joining us live for Making Sales Social Live, coming to you from the Social Sales Link Virtual Studios. I'm Bob Woods. Bryn Tillman is off, but Stan Robinson is here. What's happening, Stan?
Hey, all is well. Good to see you, Bob.
Good to see you too. So, we are going to be talking about something that, as salespeople and even sales leaders, we all tend to live and die by templates. So, today we're going to show you five, or we're going to talk about at least five LinkedIn sales outreach templates. And we'll also tell you the strategic insights behind them. So these templates are your guide to crafting personalized messages in your own voice, creating authentic connections. They're focused on your prospects' needs and not and detaching from the traditional sell, sell, sell mindset that we all fall into. So remember when I said in your own voice, these templates are not designed to be just copied and pasted. You definitely need to add your own voice to them, right, Stan?
Yep, absolutely. So we always say, please, after you generate anything using AI, review it and make sure it is in your voice. So if you need to remove M dashes or in today's rapidly changing digital landscape and change it to your own voice, go ahead and do that.
100%, 100%. So to accompany this, and it's especially important today because we're going to be talking about templates, but you're not really going to be able to see them. So we do have a free ebook that you can download, and this is free. It's called, coincidentally, five templates to optimize your LinkedIn sales outreach. You can get that by either scanning the QR code that is at the upper right if you're joining us live. You can also go to socialsaleslink.com/outreach. It's available there. If you are watching us live on LinkedIn Live right now, I do have those links in the comments as well. We will have this link in the show notes so that you can read them directly in the show notes. So with that, let's get to these five templates, with number one being influencer content, Stan.
Yes, so every industry has influencers, people who regularly write about it, who are followed by a large audience. And one thing that you can do is not only engage with the influencer's post, but look for people in your target audience who have also engaged with the influencer's post. And when possible, comment on their comments. Of course, you can also react to their comments, but you're much more likely to get noticed if you add a substantive comment to a comment that they've made on the influencer's post. What you can then do is reach out to that individual, and we'll give you a quick template because basically you're reaching out saying, I noticed that we're both following the same influencer, and I'd wonder if on that basis you're open to connecting. So a template would be, hey, Bob, I noticed that we're both fans of Jeb Blunt. Have you heard Jeb's podcast on sales? If you're interested, I can share the link to the podcast. Let me know if you'd like the link. So, what you're doing is you're reaching out to someone based on shared area of interest, or in this case, person of interest, and you're
Mhm.
offering additional information of value to them. And you let them decide whether they actually want you to share the link rather than simply sharing the link right away in a DM or a LinkedIn invitation, which can kind of feel a little bit spammy.
Yeah,
Bob, any additional thoughts
absolutely.
on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely get permission to send the link because, like Stan said, it is going to feel spammy and maybe even scammy. There's a reason why those two words rhyme. So, and it doesn't have to be a podcast. It could be a piece of content that they shared recently, or even just a LinkedIn post that you can provide the link to, or it might be a blog article or an article on them that was published somewhere else. I mean, don't get locked into podcasts, because podcasts might be kind of a difficult pull for you if you don't have time to go out and search for things like that. It might be easier to use one of those other things, but to definitely have something in your back pocket there to share with them, to potentially start a conversation. That's what's really important, because that's what we're trying to do. We are trying to start genuine, real conversations based on hopefully shared interests, so that you could then potentially start, getting into more business type conversations. But you really want to start off with being authentic, with being genuine. And of course, you want to be authentic and genuine throughout the entire your entire sales process. Or if you just end up vibing with them, and maybe there are potential referrals or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Always be authentic and genuine. Do not share the link immediately, because again, spammy/scammy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I'm gonna have to remember that one, Dan.
I remember that.
So, so the next one, number 2, is going to be. So this is when you're sharing your own content. So this is for people who engage with your content. A lot of us post and ghost, which is you do a post and you forget about it. People may start commenting on your posts, and you don't come back and comment on the comments or try to start conversation. So you really want to avoid that post and ghost behavior by actually preparing some type of piece of supporting content that's related to the initial post. So that kind of goes back to number 1. Always have something else in your back pocket to share with the people who are interested in whatever it was that you originally posted. So to do that, you're ready to engage with commenters because you're offering those additional insights or resources related to the topic, whatever it is that you shared in the first place, which of course encourages conversation, builds connections, and everything that we've already mentioned. So with this, you can use, again, don't copy and paste, especially if you're in the ebook, but make it sound like you. But this is like a possibility for you. Hi, Stan. I appreciate your engagement on my post on blah blah blah, whatever topic. I have excuse me. I have additional insights on this on a topic that's either directly with that or something that's related, just depending on what you have there. And I'd be happy to share the link. Let me know if you're interested. So again, not being spammy/scammy. And you can use this as a connection request if they're not already connected, or if you are connected to this person already, just DM them with that. But again, even though you are connected to them in that particular case, don't just go ahead and send the link initially. Make sure that you're getting permission on that. So, this template encourages further conversation, and it is based on their initial engagement. So hopefully they'll remember that they have done it. You're not coming in out of the blue with this, because they took the time to comment on something that you shared. So always keep that in mind. This is the farthest thing from cold outreach, Stan.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And when you do reach out to them, it doesn't hurt to mention the piece of content that they commented on, just to kind of jog their memory in terms of where you're coming from. And it'll click pretty quickly.
It should. Yep. Yeah, it absolutely should. So we just had a comment. Let's see if I can get this up, because sometimes comments don't come in immediately here from Joe Monzo. What's the recommended time to send that message from the time of them engaging to your post? 1 to 2 days. I would say, I would say don't be creepy and like hop on it immediately because that's creepy. I would say, you know, if you want to wait 12 hours to a day, that would be fine. I wouldn't take it out too far though, because we all have Swiss cheese brains and we all have, you know, shiny, shiny, shiny brains where we get attracted to something else immediately and then the Swiss cheese pops in. So, you know, don't do it right away, but don't let too much time expire. I know that that's kind of a wishy-washy answer. And of course, it's all going to depend on your schedule too, but definitely leap on it soon, but not too soon. That's my advice. Stan, do you have anything different?
Yeah, that is pretty much it. A yes and would be when you post, if you have to set a timer 30 minutes to an hour after you post to see if anyone's engaged, so you can make sure that you do respond to those who have. After an hour, my opinion, you're perfectly fine responding directly to someone. You know, if you respond to them after 5 minutes, that is kind of scary. But if you give it an hour, that's fine. And as Bob said, don't let too much time go by. I wouldn't let more than 24 hours go by.
Yeah.
Because everyone's feed is just scrolling and people
Yeah.
forget.
If they're even doing that. So, I mean, yeah, you definitely need to strike while the iron is fairly hot, but not like just coming off the fire hot. I think is probably the best way to put that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Totally
Stan,
agree.
let's go to number three. Oh, actually, before we go to number three, just want to talk about really quick as soon as I pull it back up, because we're doing everything here without a third person. There we go. Free ebook, socialsaleslink.com/outreach, or use the QR code at the upper right. All of the templates that we are talking about are in there. And of course, like Stan said, just like you would with AI, don't just copy and paste these. Obviously, put them in your own voice. This just provides the structure of what you want to say and some of the strategy behind it. So with that, let's get on to number three, Stan.
Yep. So the next one is engaging on your prospects' posts. So those who are posting on LinkedIn, take the opportunity whenever possible to go ahead and comment, and you can also react to their posts. I would suggest commenting first and then react. Don't just react if you want to get on their radar. Go ahead and make a substantive comment. Now, you can also turn on the ring the bell feature on their profile to stay updated when they do post. And you either have to be directly connected to or following someone for you to see the little bell icon pop up on the right of their profile. So if you just want to kind of keep up with someone, you can simply follow them, and then you'll see the bell. You can ring the bell to stay updated on their posts. Then once you have engaged with, say, a couple of their posts, you can reach out and say something along the lines of, "Hey, Bob, I enjoyed your recent posts on social selling. Is AI something that may also be of interest to you? If so, I have a resource around AI that you may find interesting. Would you like me to send you a link?" So again, you're asking permission to send the link. You're not assuming that, hey, Bob's going to be interested in AI, and let me go ahead and send him this link. Bob, anything else that comes to mind on engaging with your prospects' posts?
Yeah, so what I like about this entire strategy and focus that we have is we talk a lot about adding value. We're always adding value. This is the best way to add value, is to encourage or to see if they are interested in something that is of additional value once they give permission for you to send them, whether it's a link or, you know, it might be just, we had mentioned you know, like a checklist. If you've got a checklist and a PDF and you already know who they are, just send them the PDF. You can attach stuff directly in LinkedIn messaging. So, you know, it's always about adding value. It's always about making sure that they want the added value, because they may not be interested in AI, which would be just an absolute shame and disaster. But they may not be. You don't know. So this also kind of checks their temperature to see if they're interested in something that that you probably sell or you probably consult on or whatever. If they say no, I'm not interested, that gives you an indication of where their mindset is in terms of potentially buying something that you have to offer.
Great.
So with that, let's go to engaging with your existing connections. So these are your first degree connections. Now, if you're like me, you've got just a load of connections. I don't know what constitutes your load, but it's a lot. So, but for whatever reason, you haven't been paying attention to them. You've unintentionally ignored them. So, what a great way to re-engage with those existing connections by sending them a piece of content that they may want to engage with. So two of the ones that we really like are polls. So running a LinkedIn poll that you think that these people might want to comment on, and something that people still sleep on. Y'all, don't sleep on video messages. Personalized video messages. You can send them directly with your camera. You can send, with your phone camera. Just send them with a message. They are great. Still, very, very, very few people do this. You will automatically stand out if you send video messages, and I'm talking about personalized ones too, not just generic ones, because people can tell, especially when they're looking at you in the eye, proverbially, because you've sent them a video, if that video is personalized or not. So it's a little different here in terms of that prior permission, because you can actually send polls without prior permission. We don't have a problem with doing that, especially because when you put the link to the post that has the poll in it already, it's going to appear in that message. So that's not a really big deal, because the only thing that you're asking for is for them to provide a one-click vote. And it's literally one click and they're done. They can do more with it, obviously, if they want, but there is very, 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 very little initial buy-in there. And then, if you want to combine a poll with a video message, that's fine. If you want to bring up a piece of content that you will ask permission to send the link for, go ahead and do that. But man, those video messages, they really ensure a personal touch for better response rates. So I'm going to give you just a really quick template for polls right now. It's, hi, Stan. As a sales leader, I'd appreciate your quick vote on a recent poll I posted. Once it closes, I can share valuable insights. Thanks in advance. That one is easy. That one, you may actually get away with copying and pasting that one and just filling in what you need to fill in there. Because I think the key to that one is actually making sure that it's really short. You don't really need to get into details if the poll is going to be right below it. You just need just a couple of lines to entice them enough to hopefully click into an enticing poll, because hopefully your poll is good enough for that. Now, for personalized video messages, you really need to maintain a context-specific approach. You need to show authenticity, and you need to show interest in what you think and hope are the recipients', well-being, mutual interests, or whatever. And you can get a lot of that stuff from their profile. So be sure that you're reading that you're checking out their profiles, noting any common interests or anything like that. And that could be anywhere in the profile too. It could be education. It could be a specific group that they might be involved in, because sometimes people do list those. I have a couple on my profile specifically for, hopefully people will see that and go, oh, well, it's blah, 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 or whatever. Again, it's all about sparking conversation, Stan.
Yep, exactly. And I guess the two other quick things that come to mind is just keep in mind that you can only send a video message from your phone, not from the desktop, at least not the last time I checked.
Yeah.
And when you're asking for someone's one-click vote on a poll, if it's someone who has some expertise in the area that the poll concerns, go ahead and mention that in a message. So, hey, Bob, as an expert on social selling, I'd love your one-click vote on this poll. Or, hey, Joe, as an expert on video strategies for nonprofits, I'd really appreciate your one-click vote on this poll.
Yeah, again, that's where the, you don't necessarily want to copy and paste thing comes in. If you can customize things even more based on our templates, please feel free. We won't be offended. I absolutely promise you that. So with that, let's get to number 5, which is definitely a little more involved here, but let's see. Jack Welch is actually on. We're going to show his really quick as soon as I get this up. This actually is a great testimonial for let's just call it multimedia messaging. So sending a 30-second voicemail. So this is, I believe this is more along the lines of sending voice notes, because you can send voice notes as well. We talk about video messaging a lot more than voice notes, but you can't send voice notes too. So sending a 30-second voicemail in LinkedIn messaging has opened up some great discussions for me as well. And then in parentheses, Jack says, I need to practice my video chops before sending. Well, practice your video chops, but you can absolutely, just point the camera and just say what you want to say. If anything, if you're not perfectly polished in a video message, I think it actually builds more authenticity. Stumble a little bit. That's okay. People know you're on camera. I wouldn't even worry about that, to be honest with you. That's just me, though.
Yeah, no, it's true. We all want to make sure that we look good, but the most important thing is just to get started. Mm-hmm. Just try it. People appreciate the fact that you're being genuine. It's you're trying something new. It catches their attention, and it makes an impact.
So Gail actually has a very, very good appropriate question. As soon as I get the right one up, it hasn't come through yet. Oh, there it is. It just came through on our platform. Which have you found is better, video or audio messages? So I was just reading something about audio messages, and I don't know if I agree with this. I'm just going to put it out there. People seem to think of audio messages anymore as kind of like voicemails. So like, I don't know if it's like an okay boomer type of situation, but I just think that people tend to connect more directly with seeing someone rather than just hearing someone, because I do think that there is a little bit of a stigma to voice messaging alone, which I think goes directly back to which goes directly back to voicemails. So that's just my kind of personal opinion. I don't know how you feel about that, Stan.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We haven't tested it.
Yeah, we don't have numbers.
Yeah, but video is huge these days. And when someone can see you and read all the nonverbal cues that go along with seeing your face, it makes a difference. So I would, just off the cuff, I would try them both.
Yeah, test them.
Yeah, but if you really want to make an impression, I think people really appreciate the video.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then we have one more. Got a lot of comments today. Loving this. So Kim Arndt says, I haven't created a poll on LinkedIn. I should send a message to all poll takers offering more info on my offer, with a question mark at the end. So that was actually a question. That is 100% what you should do. That is 100% what you should do. You could produce a PDF that breaks down your poll results, offer your opinion, and then if people have left comments on your poll, include the comments in that report too. I think that is an excellent thing to do, is to just offer those. But again, you would offer them. I would offer them. I wouldn't send it proactively. I would ask if people wanted to see it before you actually sent it. Stan?
Yeah, yes, a quick yes and ask permission. And I would not suggest sending your offer. to them as the first
Oh,
communication.
oh, I missed that part. Yeah.
Yeah, send them, say, the results of the poll, your insights about the results of the poll, and then use that kind of as a conversation starter to see if they would like some additional information so you can build that relationship before you send your offer to them.
100%, 100%. And then Gail quickly followed up, seeing rather than just hearing makes sense for authenticity and relatable. Thanks for the response. I'll try them both. Yeah, definitely try. I would suggest testing. I mean, you may have an audience that may like audio better than video too. You really don't know until you give it a try. I would be surprised if they like audio more, but hey, I've been proven wrong on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. So, go ahead and try them and let us know too. I would love to hear what your results are there. So with that, let's get permission to name drop, San.
Yes, our last template briefly is what we call permission to name drop. One of the powerful capabilities of LinkedIn is it allows you to see who people that you're directly connected to are in turn connected to on LinkedIn using filters that you can use to define your target audience. So just as an example, say I found that Bob was connected to someone that this is a prospect for me. I would send Bob a message, something to the effect of, hey, Bob, I noticed you're connected to John on LinkedIn. How well do you know John? Do you know John well enough that you'd feel comfortable introducing me? Or letting me use your name when I reach out to them. I plan to reach out to John next week. Now there's some strategy in there, but you're asking if the person is comfortable introducing you to the person that you're interested in. If they aren't comfortable, if they just have connected with them on LinkedIn but have never had a conversation, they can just let you know that, and that's fine. And by saying that you plan to reach out to them next week, you're letting the person know that essentially you're not looking for their permission to reach out to this person. You already plan to reach out to them.
Right.
And you're just checking to see if they would be comfortable either introducing you, and you can literally write a note of introduction that they can forward to the person to make their life easier, or just allowing you to use their name when you reach out to the person via email and say, hey, Gail and I were communicating on LinkedIn. She thought that it may make sense for me to touch base with you about a solution that has been of value.
Yep.
Any additional thoughts on that one, Bob?
Yeah, that's 100% perfection, no notes. That's just it's exactly what you need to do. Name drop. I will say that most people will probably be cool with you just name dropping them. Every once in a while, you may come across somebody who knows somebody else who's like, who may come up with some form of, I really like this person. I like this person so much that I would like to do this for you for whatever reason personally. And at that point, to say, hey, cool, thanks. I really appreciate it. And let them take the reins on it. Most of the time, though, one of the things about name dropping is that it takes the pressure off of the other person so that, they're just saying yes to a name drop. And it also puts you more in control because you're not waiting for the other person to make the introduction. Sometimes sometimes they're fine and it works out okay. Other times the other person just may get busy or whatever, or they may forget. I mean, it's doubtful that they're blowing you off on purpose, but life happens. So name dropping is definitely a great way for you to keep control of the situation. But if they want to introduce you, hey, let them have at it.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Yep. And lastly, on my end, it may go without saying, but I will say it anyway. Do not ever use someone's name without their permission.
Yes.
Always ask first.
Yes. Yes, because you don't want to get into the situation where you didn't get someone's permission and then you got like a sales call or whatever out of that name drop. And then the person who you got the sales call with goes back to the person who you name dropped and said, "Oh, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you mentioning me, blah blah blah, or whatever." And that person goes, "I have no idea what you're talking about." There's no faster way to lose all credibility that you've built with someone than with something like that. So absolutely make sure that you are getting permission and that they know what's going on. So with that, one more time, socialsaleslink.com/outreach is where you get the 5 templates ebook. And we appreciate diversity. So we're going to answer one more question. We are a little over time, but we're going to take this last question as soon as it pops up here. So Mark Crosby asks, how would you advise diversity of outreach with LinkedIn and email, phone, etc.? Same messaging or different? It seems to work best with LinkedIn. Email, I could see some of these things translating over to email pretty effectively. Phone, I'm not so sure that these specific things would work so well with a direct phone call. But hey, give them a try. Obviously, adapt them to phone conversations and things like that. And I would just say, let us know how they work, because I would be interested in hearing how excuse me, how they work. Stan, do you have anything for that?
Yeah, just briefly, a different angle, because Mark may also be asking, would you use a different message in your email, phone, voicemail, or LinkedIn?
Oh yeah.
Message? And as Bob said, that's something that I would experiment with. I would use a slightly different message in each, although the person's not likely to see all of them or listen to all of them. So I wouldn't use the exact same message, but you can vary it a little bit. And as Bob said, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That would be great. So with that, let me get the other caption back up here really quick. And we are going to bring this one in for a landing. So whether you've been with us live or recorded via our podcast, thanks for joining us for this episode of Making Sales Social Live. So we do these twice. We do the live sessions once per week. So give us a listen. If you're listening to us on our podcast, we'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe or follow button, whatever you have on your platform there. Also, drop us a like or a comment. We love those as well. Besides the LinkedIn Lives, we also interview leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many, many more areas. Trust me, I have been veering wildly into the many more areas recently. So definitely catch those episodes as well. Socialsaleslink.podcast is where you want to go. So while you're out and about, be sure that you're making your sales
social.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Great conversation in the chat and everything else. Love it when that happens. Have a great week. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks all.